Welcome to the first episode of Unfiltered Hiking. We're here at the Blue Ridge Railway Tunnel outside of Waynesboro. As you can see, that's it behind me. Little information about this particular tunnel. It was started in 1849 and took about 10 years to complete. Actually completed in 1858. Crozet was the engineer from France that actually did this, and it's a very interesting construction. It doesn't look like much, but there used to be a train that would run through here for passengers and freight and things like that. It was built by 850 Irishmen. About 150 of them actually died. There were also about 33 enslaved people that came and worked here as well, plus 50 from the town. And so as a result, we have this tunnel. At the time it was built, it was the longest tunnel in the world. At the deepest part of this tunnel is about 700 feet from the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and take a look at it. So let's go check it out. So here we are walking into the tunnel. The tunnel is like a cave, pretty much. So it's going to be about 54 degrees, and you got this breeze blowing through right now. So it's even colder than that, or it feels colder than your standard 54. So if you come here, what I would suggest is bring a coat or something if you don't like cold weather. And plus you're going to get rained on. You've got some, you can see up there where the water is actually kind of coming through the rock and stuff. So this is really interesting. Feels good to me. I like the cold, so it doesn't bother me. But yeah, one of the things that they say that you need here is you need a headlamp, which is what I got on right now, and also got a flashlight on the side. So they say you need that to walk through here. I don't know how true it is, but you can definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel. And other people coming the other way with flashlights and stuff, but it's definitely an interesting place. It's really cool. So if you ever get a chance to get out here, definitely check it out. This was one tunnel of 4 that were in the line, so by all means, this is probably the most well-known one at the time. But I'm gonna go a little further and then get back in touch with you guys. Here's a neat place in the tunnel. As you can see, it's like rock, but right here almost looks like a wall. You can almost like see the different levels. Like there's a line, almost like cinder block, but it all seems to be one piece. Maybe it's just cut into the rock, cut flat, and then having the different sections. But I thought that was an interesting thing to come across. Here's another interesting thing. It's like a lot of the rock that we've seen has been gray, but this is almost like tan, almost like a sandstone or something like that. So I thought that was real interesting too, how the rock changes throughout, because you usually get that darkness like what you see right in there, but then all of that is like very brown or tan, and you see it changing throughout. That could be a bunch of different things, things that are beyond my knowledge, and probably somebody can tell me a little bit better. But no, because you see the dark gray. Of course, you're looking at probably different layers of strata as well. So you have the gray at the bottom, and then you have the looks like a giant fold right there. It's kind of neat. And then we get back into the standard gray, so like brown up there, and gray over here. I figure we're about halfway through. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel down there, and then there's the light at the other end of the tunnel. So the interesting thing about this was in 1944 they built another tunnel that could actually accommodate larger locomotives, and so they built that a little to my left. Is a little bit lower than what this one is too, on the mountain. So that was one thing they did. So what do you do with an abandoned rail line? Well, the propane gas company bought this and they used it to actually store propane tanks in from like 1944 to on up. I want to say like 2000 something, but I could be wrong on that. But they used to store propane tanks in here. It's like, yes, let's store extremely flammable and explosive gas in a tunnel that could probably bring down, you know, whatever's above it. So yeah, but that's what they did. So make use of what you got, I guess. So what you can see, this is closer to the west end of the tunnel. It's all bricked in, just kind of cool. Have seen a little bit of graffiti on the walls and stuff, but for the most part, it's pretty much bricked. So it's probably maybe a third of the tunnel. But the other thing you got to watch out for is the sides. You get too close to the sides and you're not paying attention, it kind of slopes off, and if you're not watching your step, you'll fall. So definitely keep that in mind while you're walking this thing. Stay in the middle if you can. But closer toward the east side, it's not as bad. So you can stay closer to the wall if you want. So here's the west end of the tunnel. So it was pretty nice. Obviously, if you're claustrophobic or whatever, you definitely don't want to go through there. You probably have some issues. But no, it was nice, cool walking through. Neat how part of it's brick, the other part is all stone and different types of stone. That's really cool. So now we're on the west side, and we're going to walk to the other parking lot on the west side, see if there's anything interesting to take pictures of or anything like that. East side, not so much. Probably in the spring it might be cooler to have some better shots of stuff, but we'll see. All right, so behind me is the west entrance to the trailhead. The west side of the tunnel is a more scenic route. It's like a nice stroll through the woods, and you know, it does very well if you just like that nice stroll through the woods. The only problem is you have elevation change. So there's some steep highs, some steep lows. So if you're not really fit, I wouldn't go that way. If you're like really old or in a wheelchair or something like that, I don't think I would go the west entrance. I'd probably put it at the beginning of a moderate set of a hike, where the east side is definitely an easy hike. You can get just about anybody in and out of there. So, you know, you gotta judge for yourself what is best for you. But the parking over here is a little more different than it is on the east side. It's like on the side of the road, but they have spots. They have porta-potties, they have trash cans, they have benches, they have little things for your dogs. They poop on the trail, you can pick it up, all that good stuff. So overall, I think it's a nice trail. It's a nice little day trip if you want to get out here and do that. It's probably taking me about an hour and a half to get here from one side to the other, but that's with me stopping and reading everything and taking pictures and doing little narratives and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk straight back now, and when I post the video, I'll post how long it took to go from one end to the other without any stopping or anything like that. So I hope you've enjoyed the videos, and I'll see you next time at our next hike.